Just tuned in with Curtis and Susie, live Friday night, teed up with Curtis and Susie. We're so glad to have you tune in with us wherever you're tuning in from. Susie, what do you want to say to the people on tonight?
Well, you know what I always say, grab your bae, your boo, your sweet thing, and tell them it's time to be teed up with Curtis and Susie on Friday nights. Tonight, I want to tell you guys again about our couples retreat that's coming up Valentine's weekend. So I want you to grab your bae, your boo, and tell them we have to attend the Yours Truly Couples Retreat. It's Valentine's weekend, February the 15th through the 17th. That's a Thursday night, all day Friday, half a day Saturday. So, get with your spouse and tell them, hey, let's invest and go be a part of the Yours Truly Couples Retreat. It's for engaged couples and married couples.
Let me say this right here. This is an event you do not want to miss. We have such a tenure planned for the couples.
Some great sessions.
On Valentine's weekend, we want you to plan on being there and being a part of what God is doing with this married couples podcast. We're excited about it. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Oh, yeah, and it's limited seating. So go ahead and register now.
Tell them how to register, Susie.
You can register. You can go to our website. Our Facebook page, Teed Up HTX. And you'll see the flyer there where you can scan that QR code to register, pay your deposit. You can also Zelle if you wanted to do Zelle, just something quick. You can do that as well. But you go to our Teed Up page. Our Facebook page, Teed Up HTX, and you'll see the Yours Truly flyer there. It has a QR code there also for you to scan that QR code, and it takes you straight to the registration page. People have already started registering, so go ahead and register now because we have limited seating, and you don't want to miss out because, like my husband said, we have some great breakout sessions. We have some fun games. We're going to have Teed Up After Dark. I'm so excited. Can't wait. That's going to be our intimate section where we're going to talk about everything sex.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. I feel giddy tonight, Susan. I think we ought to do a challenge. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to say it on air, but I just got the thought. I want to give some type of percentage off of something to the first 15 couples are the 15.
Wait a minute, not the first 15.
Not the first 15, but what I want to do something, but I'm going to talk with Susie about it before. I want to give like a 15% off of the first 10 couples that register. I'm just going to talk to her first to see how and what kind of, because I like giving out prizes because prizes make people energetic.
So we're going to be giving away prizes at the retreat.
Okay, well, hey, that's a good thing. But I'm going to talk to her and see what I can get her to do in way of trying to hurry you up because see, I'm telling you right now, if you're not careful.
You talking about that? You want to do something? So we have a challenge.
Yeah.
To the couple that brings the most couples.
Yeah, there you go.
To the retreat, we have a nice prize for that one couple that has the most guests. So if you come and then you invite some other couples, the couple that has the most invited guests in attendance.
Yeah.
We have a great prize for you.
Yes, absolutely. We have a great prize for you, and you don't want to miss it. I'm telling you, I believe that if you don't register soon, you're going to miss out on your spot. So make sure you go ahead and register so that you can secure your spot there in the retreat.
Yes, and then one other thing. We have a couples karaoke night that's coming up in November. And there we're going to talk a little bit more about the retreat. So I'm going to give you the date. It's going to be in November. I'm trying to iron out which day because we have stuff going on. It seems like every weekend. And I want to get it in the month of November. If not November, definitely that first Friday or Saturday in December. We're going to have a couples karaoke night. Sort of like a game night type deal. So we're going to tell you more about that the next time we come together for TDUP, which will be next week on the 27th. I'll have a definite date for you for that couples karaoke night. So, grab your bae, grab your boo, and tell them it's some exciting things that's going to be going on with TDUP.
Now, with that being said, Susie, tell them about making sure that they subscribe to our...
Oh, yeah. So, also, we want you all to go to our YouTube page. It's Teed Up Marriage Podcast, and subscribe to our channel. And then also hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we go live. Everyone, please go to that page and subscribe. And once you do that, you know what? Put us a comment and say, "Hey, I subscribe to Teed Up YouTube page." Put it in the comment section so we can give you a shout out when we see your comment after you subscribe to our YouTube page. Again, that's Teed Up Marriage Podcast on YouTube.
And we certainly appreciate your participation. With that being said, we have a very good topic that we want to share with those of you who are listening to us on tonight. Mm-hmm. Susie and I, when we were talking about this subject on tonight, we thought it was very apropos for this particular night to talk about maintaining your relationship. Now, with that being said, we spend thousands and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars
on the wedding. Yes.
But we take no time in investing in our marriage. Mm-hmm. So what we want to this retreat is about investing in your marriage, but also the subject that we want to talk about on tonight is maintaining. We all, a lot of us, not all, but most of us have vehicles, and so you're going to understand the concept of maintenance on tonight. We drive a car every day. I drive a car. My wife has a car, and periodically we take that car into the service
to be serviced,
and to the mechanic to have that car serviced and to catch possible problems that we might encounter with our vehicles, such as tires, radiator being properly filled with fluids, and transmission fluid, oil check. So we maintain, Susie, our cars periodically, but there's very little attention given to our marriages and spending quality time maintaining certain areas within our marriage. That sometimes, just like a car, there can be breakdowns in the relationship, just like your car can have breakdowns because you failed to maintain that car. So we want to give you some nuggets on tonight, Susan and I, in how to and what it is that you can use to make sure that you're maintaining your marriage so that it don't break down. And then when it breaks down, you say to your spouse, "How did we get here?" What do you want to add to that, Susie?
Well, that's a good point. Like you said, we spend thousands of dollars on a wedding, but spend very little money investing in maintaining and managing the marriage, and that's very important. Because a lot of times we said "I do," now it's over. Now that's when the work begins. Once you say "I do,"
absolutely.
So checking in periodically, saying how you doing. Checking the mental state. Is anything I could do for you? What's on your mind? How your day went? Just all type of things. And we get not out of not trying to do it intentionally. It's just out of habit. You just going to work, taking care of the kids. Your daily routine. And just sometimes you forget to check in on one another.
Hey, and that's so true. Let me say this right here, Susie. I don't want to omit this right here. We are a Bible-based Christian ministry, marriage team that's trying to help God's people maintain their relationships. So let me say this right here. As a couple, as a husband and wife team, you have to understand this, beloved, that everything that God gives you, He gives you a responsibility to manage it. And so if you don't manage your marriage properly, then you're going to lose it because of the lack of managing. Everything that you have been entrusted with, it is given to you to manage. And so your relationship, your marriage has to be managed. So what we want to do, Susan and I, we wanna put some thoughts out there to help you with some skill sets to know how to maintain and what it takes to maintain your relationship.
Right. So, and with
Before
that,
before you go, Susan, tell them how long we've been married and how we came to do this, what we're doing.
okay. So this right here is my husband of 35 years.
Yes.
We got married. I was 17. He was 21. We have 4 children, 4 grandchildren, and what else you want me to tell him?
Tell them how we came to. Well, you just told them what we have, but and you know we've been married since 1988, and God have blessed us tremendously in our marriage. We started off, you know,
So we'll
just
go ahead and
kids.
tell them then.
We just started off as kids, and you know, God have blessed us to
Yes.
maintain our marriage over the process
We
of time.
we have defied the odds. Marrying so young, some said it wouldn't last, but here we are, 35 years later, still hanging in there, and we're thriving. We're good friends. We're not just together. We're not just coexisting. We're thriving.
Right.
He's my best friend. I'm his best friend. We get along. I enjoy spending time with him.
Absolutely.
He enjoys spending time with me. You know, I heard somebody said they dread going home. Well, I
Wow.
wouldn't want to be in a relationship like that.
I
You
wouldn't
dreading going home.
I'm in it because I love my wife, and you know, again, like she said, we're friends. We don't just tolerate each other. We love each other. So, and we want this image to project to other people, the couples who we influence. So, you know, just bear with us, and we're going to give you some good nuggets here in just a moment.
And TDDUP came about because you know we wanted our kids to be raised in 2-parent family homes, just like the other ethnicities. So we decided that, you know, we want to start mentoring. We've been a part of marriage ministries in the different churches that we've been in, but now, you know, we have our own ministry, Image Ministries, and so now TDDUP is a part of that, and we decided that, you know, that we want to help young couples stay together so their kids can be raised in a 2-family home, and the kids can see the benefits of having 2 parents. So hence, that's where TDDUP came from, and, you know, where they can see the importance of having their father in the home.
Yeah, not only a 2-parent home, but a godly home.
We
want to make sure that they're raised in a godly home that reflect the King's wishes. So that's where we are, and we want to try to, again, demonstrate that in our lives and in the lives of those who we impact.
So the first thing we want to talk about, you know, we talked about how you're gonna be maintaining your relationship. You're gonna, and when you're in the process of maintaining a relationship, one of the things you want to do, you want to make sure that you laugh together. You know, enjoy each other's company, whatever it is that you all enjoy doing together, whether it's watching a movie or going to the movies or riding a bike, getting out of, you know, both of y'all adventurous, you want to go climb some mountains, whatever you all do, you know, to enjoy each other and laugh together.
Absolutely. You know, Susan and I, we try to take a minimum of 2 trips per year, and this is the time that we spend laughing, enjoying each other, and just spending time together.
Creating memories.
Exactly, creating memories. And married couples, loosen up some. You know, don't be
have
so
fun.
Exactly, have fun, laugh, and
Joke
enjoy
around.
each other. You know, the Bible said there's a time and the season for everything under the sun. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship where every time I went in the same room with Susie, I had a sour face. Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to be in a room with you with that sour face.
Absolutely. So laughter is good. The Bible says laughter is like medicine.
It's good.
It's good. Another thing is that couples should do to make sure that they're maintaining their relationship is they should make sacrifices.
Make sacrifices. That's right. It's not all about you. Once you become one, that process of becoming one, it requires making sacrifices. So we may not be able to watch my show every time we go to the movies or at home, or it may not always be my favorite. What's something? I don't know. What's something?
Your favorite meal. Your favorite
meal.
Restaurant.
Yeah. Exactly. Or an outing or something. That means sacrifice. You know, I may be, as a single person, you know, you maybe it's just you. So whatever you want to do, hey, just do it. Now you got to consider the other person, make
Absolutely.
sacrifices for
it's
them.
not just you any longer. You have to consider the needs of the other person. You know, one of the main things us brothers always talking about is sacrificing is in the bedroom. You know, you tired, and so he want to have his pleasure, but you're tired. So sometimes the lady have to sacrifice. You
got to sacrifice sacrifice this. You got to sacrifice the tiredness.
Absolutely.
Just say, here you go.
Absolutely. Another thing, very important piece to maintenance in your relationship is
having some date nights.
Absolutely.
I can't stress that enough about date nights, because we get busy with work and with kids, and then once kids get a certain age, they get in certain activities and in school, and you're ripping and running here and there, and you forgot all about you only see each other when you go to bed at night, and then even then you're so tired you just falling down. So you want to make sure you go on a date night at least once a week.
So maintaining your relationship has to do with spending quality time together without other entities interrupting.
Right. No cell phones. Put these cell phones away on date night. I know we have. Have you all ever went to a restaurant out somewhere and they're supposed to be out eating and you see both parties sitting there? And I'm like, okay, is they on a date or what?
Well, and that's critical right there. So you gotta when you're out in the restaurant, when you out on a date,
that's clear, Jaden.
Make sure that you're maintaining quality time. These things have to be focused on, because you lose when you lose focus, it's hard to get it back. You know what I'm saying? It takes discipline to refocus certain situations.
And it's you got to be intentional too about them date nights, because you'll get like, oh, but you got to be intentional about make sure you go on that date. And if it don't, and like I always say too, you don't have to spend a lot of money on the date night. It can be just around the corner to sit at McDonald's or sit at Cheddar's or somewhere and just sit down and talk about how your day was or something. You don't have to spend a lot of money when you do the date night, but you want to make sure that you get that date night. Even if you can't leave and go somewhere, okay, let's go in the garage or let's go sit out in the backyard and let's just talk.
Yeah, date night don't necessarily mean going out to eat. Date night just mean being in each other's presence, in each other's company, communicating with each other. That's the date night. Date night is not always about going out and eat. We eat too much.
Yeah, in a lot of cases. That's the problem now. Yeah. That's why we all chunky and juicy.
Date night might be you sitting at the park on a blanket. Date night might be you going on a drive. Date night might be, it's just so many
things
themes for date night. So don't just think date night is relegated to going out and eat at the restaurant.
Comedy show. You can do some comedy shows. That's karaoke.
Absolutely. Another thing that we're going to talk about that will help you maintain your relationship is
to say I love you daily.
Oh yeah, this must be.
And thank you.
Absolutely. Listen, we so often forget to say I love you.
And thank you.
People, you got to remember this right here, my friends. People do not have to do anything for you.
Even your spouse.
They don't have to do anything
for you. They choose to serve you, choose to do those things for you.
So you should have the decency and the gratitude to say,
thank you. And I love you.
I love you goes a long way. You don't know, that word I love is a healing word.
It is.
When people don't feel love, when people feel rejected, people don't feel like nobody cares, it's because of a lack of love. Mm-hmm. And so when you tell someone you love them, you really, really, just think about it. When the Lord tells us he loves us.
Mm-hmm. Or you know how some people do, they'll go to doing certain things for you, and to actually sort of saying I love you, they feel like, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, they ought to know. No, you have to open up your mouth and say I love you.
Absolutely. It's nothing like words. Words have power. Mm-hmm. And so you want to make sure that you're using words that express. See, even God understands the power of words. He said you shall give an account for every idle word. The Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So you got to understand that your words have power. And so you want to make sure that your spouse knows you love her.
And then let's talk about thank you.
He love you.
Let's say because you said you mentioned now that people don't have to, your spouse don't have to do anything for you. They choose to.
Right.
So when they choose to do that, you should say thank you. I know a lot of times, I'm not sure. Sometimes people don't say thank you. You know,
Right.
like I referenced, you get a good service, and what do you say?
Thank you.
Thank you, and you thank him. Sometimes you give him a nice tip. You have a good waiter that's always, keeping your drink filled. That you don't have to keep asking for refills and very attentive to you when you go out. You appreciate that, and you say thank you. So it should be the same with your spouse. When they're very attentive to you, taking care of you, doing certain things for you, it's just nice to be nice and say thank you.
And that goes for the men and the women, to say thank you. And then with the waiter, you not only say thank you, but you leave a generous tip. So when your wife or your husband says to you, do something very kind
Provide a
for
good
you,
service.
say thank you, and at some point, you want to reward them.
Even for sex.
Absolutely.
That's weird. I read something that said that, after sex, how many people say thank you? And I was like, huh? Well, you got a good service, so say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So then, so another thing that we want to talk about is we want to give each other space.
Okay, help us with that.
We want to give each other space. Sometimes, he or she, they may want to go out with the girlfriends. Sometimes it's okay.
Yeah.
Let them go out with the girlfriends or the guy friends and have a little self time or me time.
Absolutely.
Go get the nails done.
A little time. I like to say it like this right here. A little time to go out and reflect, so he or she could be excited about getting back to you. They say this right here that how they say about the heart, the absent heart makes one.
Absence make the heart grows fonder.
Yeah, so when you're away from your spouse, you out with your friends, but now you're anxious to get back to your wife or you're anxious to get back to your husband. So listen, don't be so what they call
stuck up on
you clingy.
Clingy. Yes.
Don't be so clingy to your wife or to your husband. Allow them a little space
to go hang out.
To hang out. They ain't going nowhere if you doing the right thing at the house.
They come back.
I'll be back.
And another thing you want to do, always kiss each other good night.
Absolutely. That right there is I think that's very important, because that could be the last kiss you ever give one of your loved one. So you just want to be more affectionate toward your wife or your husband.
Yes, and then another thing we want to do is communicate our feelings. If you like something or dislike something, you want to communicate. Say it. Don't expect him to be a mind reader. I know sometimes I can't speak for men. I can only speak for ladies. Some ladies, they think, well, he ought to know what I like, or if you like a certain position sexually, he ought to. No, you can just tell him, hey, I like it like this. I want you to try this. Let's try that. I didn't like that, or let's do this. You should be able to express freely whatever it is how you feel.
Exactly. Open your mouth and make known what it is that you desire. All right.
Then another thing we want to do is always have each other's back.
Listen, this is critical. So often, Susie, we forget about these things because of the processing of time. We don't understand how important these things are. To
have each other's back.
To have each other's back.
And that means it's you and I against the world.
Right. This is all we're talking about, maintaining your relationship. See, you got
happy couples do these things.
Yeah, you have to think back on all of these points that we're hitting, and then say to yourself, am I focused in? Am I maintaining in these particular areas? Am I loving my wife? Am I spending time with my wife? Am I dating my wife? These are the things that demonstrate you maintaining what you started. You know what we've done to get into the relationship, but now are you maintaining those same qualities to keep the relationship strong? You have to build on those relationships.
Yep, and what she want to know is that you have her back. It's not, she don't want to feel like she's in competition. She's get out there and it's I'm just using this example. Something break out and she look around for you and you know where to be gone. She ain't fighting alone. You want to make her always feel like, hey, it's you and I against her. I got your back no matter what.
Absolutely.
And so, sometimes, you may have to say something to relatives to get them in their place and let them know, hey, this is my wife, watch it.
And see, that's maintaining what you originally started. See, again, when you get a new car, it's a new car, but that new car is going to age, but it doesn't have to age raggedly. It can age gracefully. The relationship has to age gracefully. You cannot not maintenance your relationship. You have to stay on top of it.
Yep. When you use a good point. When you first get that new car, what you want to do? You want to shine, and while you wash it ain't even dirty, you want to wash it. You want to show. You want to show it off.
Absolutely. And so this is what you have to do with your relationship. You know, you get a new car, you want to go vacuum it every 5 minutes. You want to wash it. Don't bump my car. Don't scratch my. Hey, don't sit there.
You want to park it way in the back where nobody can't see it.
Absolutely. So you want to treat your wife better than you treat that old car. You want to treat your husband better than you treat that old car that you have. Because again, it's all about maintaining what you already have. It's about managing it.
And then another thing you want to do, you want to learn their love language.
Okay.
You can't show them how to love. You can't show them love if you don't know their love language.
Right.
So the way that he shows love to me, he needs to know my love language. So hopefully, you know your spouse's love language. If you don't, they have several quizzes out there. One of them by Gary Chapman. You can go and find out what your spouse's love language is, and that's the way that you show that person love. If your wife or husband want gifts, that's their way of showing love. Then you can't give them something else. This is how they feel love, by you showering them with gifts.
Right.
So that's very important that you know their love language.
Absolutely, I believe that's critical for every man and every woman that's married. This is something you should know, because when you know the language that your spouse is speaking, then you know how to communicate with them. But when you don't understand the language, it's going to be a breakdown in the relationship, and thus, therefore, it won't be maintained properly. The love language has to do with, it's another way of talking. It's another way of expressing what it is. The way you feel. Exactly, the way you feel about a certain thing.
And then another one is they make time for intimacy.
Oh, yeah. Now, men can relate to that, because, we think about that every 6 seconds, every 6 minutes or something to that degree. But we want to make sure that area is maintained and that both parties are being satisfied. And that has to do with maintenance. You got to make sure that when your husband go out of the door, that you've taken care of him, and when your wife go out of the door, you're taking care of her. That way, that it cuts down the desire for other things.
Yep. And then ladies, we don't want to always have a headache or something is going on. You want to make sure that your husband is sexually satisfied, just like he's going to make sure you're sexually satisfied. And if you're not, you need to have a conversation and say, "Hey, I'm sexually frustrated. What can you do about it?"
Exactly. What can we do about it to make sure we get this thing serviced?
I know last week, in house, on the board, I had a question up there. I just put, "Are you sexually frustrated?" And then so as the couples were coming in, one of them looked at the board and said, "Why our name up there? We ain't sexually frustrated."
Absolutely. She forgot to put the rest of the names up there, so you just left one couple name up there, and so they thought we were talking to them. That was one of the teed up in-house sessions, but that was
good to know they're not sexually frustrated, because that's very important.
Absolutely.
Sex is important, ladies. As kingdom women, we need to do what we need to do sexually. If he wants lingerie, if he wants lap dances, whatever it is to keep him satisfied, that's what we need to do. Sex is good. God created it. We can't say, "Oh, that's nasty." No, it's good.
It's not. It's good when you use it in the proper context. It's nasty when you're using it out of the proper context.
Right. We have the right and authority to having sex.
Exactly. we have. God has given that as a relationship piece. So you can't throw that away. You got to make sure that your spouse is fulfilled in that right there.
Okay, and then the last thing, they work through their problems.
Oh yeah, that's critical. That you have to maintain. You have to make sure that whenever problems arise, that you and your spouse work through them.
Talk it out.
Understand where you are in the crises and get it solved. This is maintenance. You maintaining that area of your relationship, learning how to solve conflict.
Conflict, yeah. We're gonna talk. That. What's the one thing we're gonna talk about at the retreat? Conflict resolution, because that's very important in a relationship. If something happens, we got to address what happened, be accountable for our actions, and then come up with a resolution for it.
You got to know how to solve problems in a marriage. You cannot let them fester. If you let problems fester, then you're going to create a situation where your marriage is going to be in jeopardy. And so when you learn how to communicate, then you know how to overcome these attacks of the enemy.
Talk through it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With that, go ahead, honey.
That's what I was gonna say. With that being said, looks like I'm not seeing any questions online in the chat. So I don't see any questions or anything for I don't see any questions or anything that anyone have in the chat. So
with that being said, we're ready to
close out
up for tonight. Well, listen, I want to say once again, for those of you who are planning on attending the marriage retreat, we're looking forward to seeing you there. Remember what Susie said. Make sure you invite someone. If you're planning on attending, tell your friend, girl, come on, let's go to this marriage retreat. It's a good endeavor. So with that being said, we want to get ready to close out. We want to thank all of those of you that are listening on tonight for joining in with Curtis and Susie live
on TDDUP
on Friday night. Well, we'll see you on the next